No, I have one.
Why? Because today I am going to create two instances, one Windows, one Linux. So both will be and in this weekend you all need to configure this. Okay. So I'm in the console, and if I go to once you log into console, just have a look on EC2. Okay. So in the EC2 dashboard, the by default it will take you to the dashboard. So always see here how many, what is the instances and key pairs, right? Security group. So what we can do is we can create the security group and key pairs in advance, and we can map that while creating the instance. So if you see here in the EC2 on the left side, so there is the option here. If you come down, key pair. See, so we created before Windows key and Microsoft key. So here you can create the key in advance. So let me create key. Okay. So there are two type of key. So use for putty and you PEM. So yesterday we have seen for Windows we use PEM file. Okay. So what we need to do is for Linux we want to use the PPK. So there are two options. So launching Windows is you required putty Partigen. There is a one software you required. So that we'll see today. So because Linux, there are two options. Either you use Putty or Partigen, or you need to use Open SSH. So there is some one bash if you are managing the Linux, right? So this is a CMD where we use this one. So similarly, there is something called bash or Git. So these are the actually even I don't have in my system, but I have a partition that we will see. Okay, so what we can do is let's create a key. So here today what we are going to do, we are going to create key and security group in advance, and we will map to the EC2 instance. Any option is possible. Any way is possible. So instance key. Okay, Linux key, and if we make it open SSH PEM file, then I'm use with putty. Okay, let's use this one only, because why? Open SSH, I'm not sure you guys. I think generally we use Windows, so you will not be having that bash. Like how the CMD is here, right? Similarly, there is something called Git, or there is something called bash. So you need to install that. No problem. So this is a PPK. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create, or you can give the tag. Let's say name Linux. Okay, and just create it. So Linux key PPK. Okay, this is the key. I created the key. Now next, what I can do, I can create a security group for accessing Linux. So if you remember, yesterday we created Microsoft SG. SG means security group. So for the Microsoft, we need like inbound rules. Inbound rules, what we put RDP, right? And we gave ICMP. And for the outbound, like from server to outside, so we said all. So all the traffic from the server can go to internet and access the internet. So with this rule, so today we will create the security group in advance. Okay, security group, I will say Linux SG means security group to access the Linux. So what is Linux? Linux is the box, like it is the operating system. VPC, which VPC you want? It's there is a one default VPC only. So we will select as it is. Then now can you see add inbound rule, add outbound rule. Okay. So inbound means who is coming and access to this server. So add rule. So first thing first, for Linux we need SSH. So I will just select the SSH and custom. So what will be the source? I want to use from my IP. Okay, my IP got chosen, so I can say in the description it is optional, but you can put if you want SSH to Linux. So okay, then I will add another rule saying I want to do a ICMP. ICMP means ping. So for here also, let me say my IP. Okay, ping. So that's done. Then this is the inbound rule. Then outbound rule. In the outbound rule, you need to say all traffic. All traffic by default there is one rule. So all traffic here 000. Yes, because if you put this 00, so I can say the description server access to internet. If you don't have this rule, then server will not go to the internet. Okay, to get the internet, you need to put this all traffic. That's done. And finally tag, as I said, tag is required in every organization. They maintain the tags, so I'm just using the name, but here you can mention the team name. You can mention your what is called, who is the owner of this security group, who is the requester of this group. So some 5 6 tags need to be added there. Okay, so name I will say again same, Linux SG. Okay, done. So I will just go ahead and create security group. Here we go. So if I go to security group tab, where is it? In the EC2, in the EC2 instance, if you go down, so it is the option. In the network and security, there is the option called security group. Okay. Also key pairs. Key pairs means that key to access that server. Okay, these two things we created in advance. So let's go ahead and create EC2 instance or Linux box. Okay, so I will go here. In instance, you can see there is no instances right now. So I'm going to launch the instance.
Nadimar,
Mm-hmm.
how did you remove the instance from there? Like I was also trying to do that yesterday, but
Just terminate it. Terminate it.
but still it is showing when I terminate it.
Can you refresh it?
Yeah, I did.
No. See, yesterday I created and I terminated. You can see there is nothing in that console. So what is the status showing there for you?
Terminated it. Yeah, it shows
Then
terminated.
fine. Then fine. So I'm not sure. Like maybe the console got stuck or something. Not sure, because
Okay, okay, no
terminated
worries.
status means it's gone. If you
Okay,
terminate it now, then it will take 1 hour to hide from your console. If you terminate it just now.
oh,
But if you see in my console, I did yesterday, so I got it got terminated. Okay, so I'm creating a Linux instance. Okay, so for the Linux instance, if I go free tier, Okay, so I'm having Amazon line instance. So Ubuntu is the more you, famous operating system. Either you can use a Red Hat or Ubuntu. So I'm going to use the Ubuntu, the fourth one. Ubuntu is the Linux operating system. Okay, and I will say 64-bit select. So I selected the image. Next, next, free tier eligibility. So here what we are selecting what is the instance type. So T2 micro means general purpose. Then how many CPUs will be here? There will be one CPU. Okay. Storage is EBS only and low moderate. So these are the default setting. So let's we selected that. Let's go next. Okay, now this is the network setting. In the network setting, we are saying VPC is the default. How many instance we want? One. The next is availability zone. So let me create today, instead of 1A, let me create in 1B availability zone. So what's the difference? The IP address subnet will be different in that availability zone. So I just selected this one. Okay, then rest everything's to be same. Okay, these are some advanced setting we are not going to touch here. Then next, storage. Let's move to the storage after the networking part. Fourth step, storage. So by default they have given 8 GB. Okay, for the Linux. But can you see free tier eligible customer up to 30 GB EBS? Okay, so right now it's 8 GB. You can increase it to 30 GB. No problem. It will not charge. Why? Because we have a limit for the 30 GB. In the same, see, this is called a volume. Volume is nothing but your in general thing you can remember. This is our C drive where the operating system will get installed. If you want another volume, means you are adding another disk. Okay, we will see that how to add another disk. Okay, so root, just say I just put the 30 GB, and the next is a tag. Tag. So in the tag you can put generally name. I will say Linux instance, Linux server instance. Okay, so I added the tag. Then let's move on to the security group. Okay, now in the security group, can you see there is a two option: either create a new security group or select existing security group. So we just created the existing security group. So just select this one, and can you see Linux SG, which we created just now. So just select this one. So you can also review the inbound rules. Then just map it. So finally, you are able to review this. So Ubuntu server and security key. This is the inbound rule. Okay. Then instance detail, storage. So before launching, you should review this. Okay, to see if anything miss or if anything there. And if it is going to charge you something in case you selected something else, so it will display you here. So there is some you are using the above free tier limit, so it will get charged or something. Okay, so all the same step. Do you find any difference here? No, there is no difference. It's the same. So finally, just go and launch it. When you launch, okay, now see here. So this key pair is very important to access the server. Okay, choose an existing key pair. So two options: either you create a key pair here, but here in this case we created key pair already. Okay, and we want to use that. So can you see in the select choose existing key pair? So if I select this one, so can you see I have a three keys there. So I'm seeing those keys. So Linux key which I already used, so I just put this one, I acknowledge and launch instance. And did you notice here, you for the Linux you did not get down. We already created the key pair. If it is a new key, it will give you the download option. Okay, but here if you see here Linux key pair, I already did that. So now my instance is now launching. Okay, let's move back to our instance and have a look here. Okay, so name came Linux server instance. Okay, and the public IP also you can see it gives the public IP. Okay, and this all thing came. So meanwhile, while this server is coming up, let me show you the partition. So what is the use of partition? So you need to go and say uh, download partition for Windows, whatever machine you have. Okay, so partition.com. So just go here. Okay, so it will take you in which version you want, Linux, Windows, Mac. So just go here, go down. Okay, run partition on the Windows. So we want this one actually, right? So go and install this one. So this is a one-time effort. Once you install, it will be in your system. How to install partition for Windows? So download option not given. It will give. Here we go. I think. Yeah, it is here. So Windows installer property. Go down. Putty. There are multiple things. So partition is here. Can you see? Partition RSA and DSA key generation utility. So 32-bit or 64. So whatever you have. So I have a 64-bit. So I will just download this partition.exe. Okay, here we go. So partition, it is here. So what you need to do? See, I have created some document. Okay, so I will share you after this class. So uh, launching Windows instance and Linux instance. So in the Linux instance, once you have this one, so what you need to do, see, I have written here Linux instance is ready to use. Once it is ready, okay, open the partition and the file which you got. Okay, just put that file and load it here into partition. The next you need to once you load it will get some successfully imported. Then you need to save that private key. So that public key you need to save into private key, and yeah, that's that key once you got. So that key you need to use in partition for SSH. So this is only the procedure. So what I'm going to do, partition, it's very simple. If you do one or two times, then you will be familiarized with this. So meanwhile, let me see the status of my instance. Okay, see, 2 by 2 check means pass. So it means it came. So let me copy this and see if I can try to ping this. Ping. One 172.31.88.251. Okay, it's not able to ping. So let me see the security what we are putting. Um, I think is there. Okay, we'll see that. So let me open Partigen first. Run it. Okay. Now here it is asking to load the key which you downloaded from internet. So here I will say load. Where is that key? It is into download. See Linux key ppk. So I will just put this one and generate. So for generate you need to take the cursor here so it will go faster. Okay, generated, and finally you need to save a key. Or you want to save this key without pressing yes. Okay, so I will say Linux private private key. It is coming into ppk format. Just say yes, done. So your this work is done. Okay, now next is open the putty, the main software. So you have, for the putty you require two software. One is PuttyGen and this is the one. So this software, so you need to give the IP address here for Linux box 54.209.83.107. Okay, it is SSH. But here if you go here in the SSH, so there is something called auth. In the SSH auth is there. So in the authentication you need to, can you see private key with the authentication? Here you need to give that private key which you just generated. Okay, can you see? uh, Here we go. Private key, Linux private key ppk. Just put this, open. Key exchange algorithm. Okay, so actually there is some problem with my computer. It is asking some diffie elements, something need to be added here. But this is very simple steps. If I do the same thing from my other machine, I'm able to do that. But this particular system, it seems having some problem. So this is the one option. Second option also we can see, um, with this box, when you go here connect, EC2 instance connect. So SSH client. Okay, can you see? It is asking EC2 instance. You need to give this name. Okay, this one SSH minus I in this one. So let me make it more simpler. Let's download Git. Download Git. Uh, so this is also open source. Um, Download Git for Windows. Okay, so Git is getting downloaded. So two options to access the Linux server. Either you go with the partition, you that public key translated to private key, and map it to the this one and use it. Another option is Git. That is nothing but the open SSH. So if you see here, it is asking me to run this. It will take. So it's a small tool, same like a CMDB. Okay. Say next. Next. Where I'm storing it. Setup. Click. Create start menu folder. Okay. Next. Open SSL. I'm just choosing all the default stuffs. Oh, how many things? See, for Windows, we haven't installed any software. Why? Because we have a remote desktop, which is nothing but inbuilt software in your system. That's why we use a remote desktop tool. But Linux is a separate operating system. Windows does not support the Linux, right? They are, both are different. So to access the Linux box, you need some third-party tool. You need PuTTY, or you need secure CRT, or you need this Git to access that. So that's one of the difference. The same challenge for the Mac and Linux. If suppose someone is using the Mac, so they will not. I think I don't think they will have RDP into that. I think no. So they need to use something, some different tools there. So launch Git bash. Here we go. So I'm here in the Git bash. So what I need to do, the key, which key is this Linux key and this private key, both. I will just copy it and I will put into C drive, users. Okay, whatever the users here, I will just put it here. Okay. Next, I need to go to console and copy this. What it is saying, SSH minus I, Linux keep pem, then Ubuntu, whatever the DNS name. So I will just copy this. And by default, Ubuntu is the user for Linux box. Similarly, for Windows, there is an administrator. Okay, so I will just go here, paste. Warning: Linux keepem does not. Okay, or you want to continue with this? Say yes. Permission denied. Public key. Paste menu, paste. Linux key dot pem. Permission denied. Uh, Actually, the key is the same. Let me see once again. So we need to see where the Git is installed. So in the same place you need to put this key Linux. Uh, Program files. Okay, Git is here. So let me put that here. Okay, existing images. The program files I cannot use it here. So this is only place in the users public. Oh, I put it here. Let me go back. No such file directory. You want to permission denied. Okay, so let me work on it because look like something with my machine. So I need to fix that. Okay, so this is how we configure deploy the EC2 instance, because we deploy that only while accessing it required some tools. So for the partition, my system shows some security, some SSH key is not match, so I need to fix that. And also the open SSH giving some permission deny option. So I need to go and fix that. Maybe some folder restriction or something. I need to go and check that. Okay. So but that's fine. So the main thing is just objective was wanted to show you um, how to create the Linux box. It is the same how we use for this one. Then similarly, security group and key pairs. We have seen this one. Okay, now what? Okay, so for this Linux I created, so I can go and create a Windows instance also. Okay, so now this time, so see you. As I told, these instances we will create every day. Okay, we'll create it and we'll delete it. Okay, so this is our day-to-day activity. So Windows 19, that's why I generally preferred Windows to do any practice because it's simple and easy. Free tier I'm taking, and by default availability zone I want to make it in 1A. Okay, this is my another server. Add storage 30 I will take by default. Add tags. Give the name Windows server, not web server. Windows server instance. Security group, we already have. Yesterday we created, right? Uh, Microsoft server, this one. But here, can you see? So we can, no problem. We can go and review that. Nothing is required here, so you can go and edit that, right? Okay, then finally launch it. To have key in my downloads. Yes, web server key and Microsoft key, both I have. So I can use, let's say, this was only the objective for the first week of the course. You need to be like log in the get access to the console and get some hands-on, just understand how the console view and all, just create the basic instance. And if you are able to do this, if you haven't done, then please take the Saturday and Sunday advantage of Saturday Sunday and do it, because from Monday we are going to the advanced level. Okay. And the box which the Linux box which has the issues, I will show you that, no problem. So once I need to fix this machine, and I can show you how to access that. So now can you see, I have two instances, two servers. One server is Linux server instance, and another is, it is going to initialize, so it will take some time. So this week, okay, right now we are here in the EC2 instance. Tags, tags are nothing but what we use in the names and all. If I go here, see these tags, these tags are here. Okay, so let's say for this manage tags. Okay, can you see the names and all what we use? Name is Microsoft SC. So tags are to identification, right? Similarly, we are aware about the instance, right? Instance types. If you want to see the instance types, okay, so here we can see uh, that instance type, T2 or M2. So what is the name of that? What is the performance description? So those details will come here. See this one, T1 micro, and it is also giving the bill details. Let's say T1 micro. If I use low cost, can you see 0.002 USD per hour? See, if you use anything, and if you open for 1 hour, 2 hour practice and close it, so hardly it will charge you. I will tell you, like within 10 rupees only, 10 rupees, 15 rupees. Why? Because, but if you cross the free tier, then I am telling. If you are within the free tier, then it will not charge you. Okay, so this is instance type. So if you want to say something, so let's say metal, if you want to get the detail of this, and then you can see what exactly this machine type, compute. Okay, and the networking, what it is required, storage, how much storage, pricing also you can see here. Okay, USD per hour, 0.46 USD per hour. So we this one. So in the instance, so whatever this the another option, these are very advanced level options. Okay, we are not going to look into that. Images, AMI is nothing but the backups. Okay, we will see the backup next week. Then AMI, then we have a volumes and the snapshots, we will see that. And in the network and security, we are aware about the security group and key pairs. We'll see the network interface, and we'll see the elastic IPs as well. And in the load balancer, we'll see the load balancer in the target group, and auto scaling. There is also one concept. So next week, I think we are unable to touch the VPC because we need to finish this. We need to have a look on this, taking backup, these things, load balancer and all. Once we are done, then we will move for the this one, because EC2 is the, I can say it is the it is your day-to-day bread and butter of AWS. So you need to be aware about, you need to spend much time on the EC2. So once EC2 is there, then other services also there. We will see that other services parallelly. Let's say once the server is up, then we can go ahead and we can put it into the monitoring. We can use the cloud watch service, and we can put it into the monitoring. That I can we will do that. We will see that, because I don't want to merge multiple topics. One day I want to keep it one topic only. So today the objective was to create the Linux server, and can you see the Windows and Linux both servers are here. So see, for the Windows, how simple it is. Just take the public key. Okay, but before that you need to say connect, go to RDP client. It is asking Microsoft key, browse it. Microsoft key, decrypt. Here we go. Here is your password. Okay. So I will go ahead and put this password somewhere here. Okay. Instance, web server. Uh, Go to the remote desktop. Okay. Put the IP here. Connect. Administrator. Administrator, and queue this IP. So we are going to RDP to the server. But for the in the Linux case, we cannot do RDP to Linux. We can do SSS to the Linux. Okay, and for that you need that private key of the server, and it is a one-time efforts. So no problem for the Linux. We will see that again one more time. I need to fix my machine. So, but the objective is you want to create Windows server, you want to create Linux servers. How simple it is. All steps are same. You just need to configure it. That's it. So same steps you need to follow. And now I am in the Windows server. So here, if you go here and say um, CMD. Yesterday we already saw this one. I don't want to keep the same thing. Uh, CMD prompt ping to the internet. A dot. Yes, the server has the internet access. So in the server you can do some more enhancement. If I go to the this one folder. Okay, so my PC. So right now you see a C drive here, right? 32 GB. You can, while this server is up, you can add another storage. Okay, D drive. You can add that. So for that, we will see that next week, not this week. So that's enough. If in the 1 week, if you are able to log into the console and able to create the instance and able to RDP and able to create the Linux instance, then well and enough, and you are on the track for the first week. I don't want to go into more advancing. And can you see the Windows server we configure into availability zone A, and the Linux server we configure into availability zone 1B. And can you see the IP address are both IP address will be from that range, the private IP addresses. So the public DNS also here and private DNS also here. So this is fair enough. In the 5 days last 5 days classes, what we learn, we understand what is the infrastructure versus cloud. We have seen that. Then we discuss in detail infrastructure and the cloud. Then we discuss about the free tier account, how to create the free tier account. Then the services in AWS, what are the services and what we are going to see that. Then we saw the EC2 instances. We created the, see this is in the last 5 days, this is the fifth server which I created. If you recall yourself, every day I'm creating. So you will get familiarized with this one. You will get handy with this one. So we created the instance, Microsoft instance and the Linux instance. How to create that, how to access, how to RDP. Then we have seen the security group. Yesterday lab we have seen inbound and outbound roles. We have given RDP access to Salman laptop, so he was able to RDP to that machine. We have seen the ping. request. Internet access, outbound. We stopped the outbound rule, and we saw internet access was stopped. Okay, so this thing, and also we have seen the security group and key pair, how it works. So this is well enough for the 1 week. Next week, see, you have a Saturday Sunday. If you don't, if you haven't done a practice, please do it. Okay. Okay, Windows instance and the Linux instance. So I will go ahead and terminate it, both of them. Terminate instances. So you can select both, and it will give you the Windows and Linux. Both are going to terminate. You really want? Yes, I really want. So they are going to terminate it. So Monday, see, whatever happen in 1 week, Monday we will see, do I have any charges for this? For these instances, creating instances or anything. So if I go to my bill dashboard, so if suppose in last 24 hours anything charges, so it will show you. Okay, so July. 1 second. Let me select for the July. So be careful while creating the server, because sometimes we think it is free, but we will left some services without deleting, so it will charge you. So right now current month cost, I don't see anything. Okay, July, you can see here there is nothing. So if anything charge, because yeah, but whatever I created, all are in the limitation. But I'm sure that if the charge, it will be very minimal things. So where I go in the cost, 1 second, cost explore reports. Let me see the reports. Last 6 month report. Okay, so I want to see monthly report, daily report. So daily, what is the cost going on? It will tell you. It will tell you how much cost. Okay, in which service they charge? ELB, S3 instance, or what is the tax and all? They will tell you. Okay, then there is something called cost home. Let me go to the home back. Okay. AWS cost management. Okay. So here, once you will use across AWS, you will provide helpful cost usage insight. Okay, can you see what July trend is saying? Once you have more usage across AWS, we will provide helpful cost and usage insight. Right now, I'm not using anything. I'm just creating within a free limit. So that's mean they are not charging anything to me. But in case if some charges are there and if you did not pay, it will cut from your deduct from your credit card. So after 1 month, they will give you, send you email, they will send you bill. Okay, this is what happened, you can come and review here, and then they will get charged on that. But I will tell you, so don't worry about the this one. So it will, okay, so there are some default reports also here. Daily cost, monthly cost, linked by account, monthly cost by service. If you want to see this one, you can go ahead and see this. Okay, monthly cost. So in June, as I told, I got some amount here. Why? Because I left one service, so some 600 rupees, some I need to pay here, because I created one extra volume and I forgot for the month. And after I realized, when I came back here, oh, this is what happened. So it will also give you the details in July if anything is there. But right now, can you see I have till June only. So in July, I haven't. They haven't charged anything. Why? Because I'm whatever I'm using, all are in free tier. Okay. So don't worry about this one. So just make sure once you create any instance, EC2 instance or anything, just go ahead and um, remove it, terminate it. Okay. Even if you have option to make the system down also, you can make so that it will not charge. It will be close, but you can relaunch that again. But better it will, because it will not take much time. Just go ahead and terminate it. How we launch to terminate it. So that's it. So today I'm stopping here. So we will continue. So you have 2 days. Take